In a shocking tale of crime and justice, we delve into the chilling case of Daniel Myers and the gruesome murder of Heather Bogle, a young mother whose life was tragically cut short. As the investigation unfolds, and we uncover a web of compelling evidence against Myers, leading to a chilling revelation. But that's not all. There's more to this story as we explore the haunting mystery surrounding Leigh Ann Sluder's death and the unanswered questions that leave her family seeking justice. Who is this detective? And why did he kill a 28-year-old innocent mother? And how did he use his knowledge of the law against the law itself? As I mentioned, Daniel Myers was held accountable for the killing of Heather Bogle, a 28-year-old mother. Heather had disappeared on April 9, 2015, and her body was discovered the following day in the trunk of her car, about a mile from her workplace at a factory. The authorities were deeply disturbed by the horrific injuries Heather had suffered. She had numerous bruises and marks all over her legs, arms, and face, indicating a merciless beating. Shockingly, her hair had been forcibly cut from the scalp, and her fingernails were shaved down to the cuticles. Marks on her wrists and ankles suggested that she had been bound and restrained. Ultimately, her cause of death was determined to be 2 gunshots to her back, which pierced vital organs in her chest. Despite the investigation initially going in the wrong direction, it eventually uncovered compelling evidence against Daniel Myers, who was also employed at the Whirlpool plant where Heather worked. Heather's DNA was a match with Daniel Myers' DNA. The police, led by Sheriff Chris Hilton, identified Myers as a suspect based on GPS data from Heather's social media and Gmail accounts, which showed her location after leaving work on the day of the murder. The trail led them to Myers' trailer. During their interaction with him, Myers made a highly suspicious comment. Based on a recorded conversation, he said, "I guess it's a little odd that you guys are, I know it's a cold case, and you guys are just, grasping at straws trying to figure out." Later on, Daniel Myers' DNA was gathered, and it indeed matched the DNA found at the crime scene. Furthermore, investigators discovered that he had replaced the floorboards and mattress in his place after Heather's death. Additionally, they came across women's undergarments in his trailer. Strangely, Myers had contributed $125 to Heather's GoFundMe page, which was set up to support her daughter, and he had even signed a registry at her funeral. Following his arrest, during the investigation, one of the investigators requested another officer take off Daniel's handcuffs and instead secure him to a fixed point in the interrogation room. It appeared that the officers were not entirely comfortable fully removing the restraints at that moment. After the officer read Daniel his Miranda rights, he promptly asked for an attorney, though he did respond to one question. In certain jurisdictions, passcodes for cellular phones are protected by the Fifth Amendment, while the contents of a phone are generally protected under the Fourth Amendment. Unfortunately, Daniel may have unknowingly given up these important protections by voluntarily providing his passcode and consenting to a search of his device. It's crucial never to surrender a phone's passcode or its contents without a proper warrant. Even with a warrant, skilled counsel may attempt to challenge its validity or exclude evidence obtained through it. By waiving these rights, officers are no longer required to establish probable cause for obtaining a warrant, which allows them to conduct a broader search, potentially uncovering evidence of other crimes. This decision puts the suspect at greater risk during the trial since they have freely offered additional evidence that could potentially incriminate them. With this, Daniel Myers faced charges for Heather Bogle's murder, and there was a possibility of him receiving the death penalty if found guilty. However, in February 2019, he pleaded guilty to the murder and was handed a life sentence in prison with no chance of parole. After his arrest, multiple women came forward, alleging that they had been sexually assaulted by Myers. Following these events, an inquiry was initiated into the demise of Leigh Ann Sluder, Daniel Myers' ex-girlfriend and the mother of his child. Her death had been classified as an accident when she was found deceased in February 2009. According to reports, it was believed that she had taken her own life with a gunshot to the chest. However, Leigh Ann's sister, Lori Ann Haley, has consistently held the belief that Myers was responsible for her sister's death. She said, "It's just sad that the justice system wasn't on our side. I know that he killed her, he knows it. The problem is, he can't prove it." Lori Ann Haley added that her sister had a strong aversion to guns and showed no signs of unhappiness or depression, even during their conversation just hours before her death. Now, Daniel Myers remains incarcerated, serving his life sentence in prison. And if you watch more videos like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up for this video.